Very good evening to everyone. Just give me a minute. I'll just share my screen and I can start my presentation then. Is this fine?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone, once again. I'm Dr. Rohit Kumar, and basically, I'm a biosocial anthropologist. I'm working with HelpAge India for past 5 years. And I would like to present today on problems of elderly geriatric caregiving and home care for elderly in India. So before I start my presentation, I actually want to quote one of the sayings by Sir James Sterling Ross, who is rightly saying that you do not heal old age, you protect it, you promote it, and you obviously extend it. And this is something I think which is promoted by WHO, also World Health Organization, wherein they are promoting the concept of active aging. So which has been picked up by not only the developing the developed countries, but also by the developing countries like India and the other Asian countries. Before rushing on to the main topic of my presentation, I just want to give two slides to my organization, the tremendous, great, and significant amount of work that HelpAge India is putting forward in care of elderly person for the last 4 decades. So HelpAge is an organization that is working for the poor and frail elderly with an aim of fighting against isolation, poverty, and neglect. At HelpAge, we have various missions under which we all work. These are the missions that I have listed here: healthcare, aged care, livelihood, advocacy. These are the missions under which various programs are run, and there are numerous numbers of beneficiaries that are getting benefit by the programs that are running under various missions. For example, under her healthcare mission, we have mobile Medicare units, which is called as MMUs. We have a vision restoration program wherein we are providing cataract surgeries. We are also into cancer care. Under aged care, we run a 24 into 7 helpline. We also run wellness and daycare centers, physiotherapy centers. We also own our old age homes. So HelpAge is running currently 7 old age homes in 5 states. We also do work on elderly caregiving. In terms of providing livelihood to the older persons, we are setting up elderly self-help groups. We are also helping them to enumerate linkages with the government programs. We are also stepping ahead with the advocacy of older persons related to pension, a universal pension scheme for all the older persons. We advocate for their food and health, and also we promote the feeling of intergenerational bonding. So as I said, it does not bring justice that I am concluding the tremendous amount of work that HelpAge is putting forward in just 2 slides, but I am trying my best to actually elaborate on the amount of work that has been done by HelpAge India. So HelpAge is basically operates, as I have earlier told you, the mobile healthcare units. There are 154 mobile healthcare units across India, and which is the Asia's largest healthcare network for elders. And we provide 2.9 million free treatments to the older persons. HelpAge runs an elder helpline in 21 states and capitals in India. We conduct nearly 50,000 cataract surgeries in 19 states. We also have done some work on palliative care. We have provided 1.5 lakh physiotherapy treatments to the elders in 18 states. We also support 5,500 elder self-help group, and we run our own old age homes. Now, moving on to the main topic of my presentation today. So let us start with the process of aging. What is aging? Why do we want to study aging? What is there that makes us to, understand the process of aging? We all know that India is an aging nation, and according to United Nations criterion, any country whose population, whose aging population or elderly population exceeds by 7% of the total population, then it is known as an aging nation. So India has already surpassed this 7% in back in 2001, wherein we are now called as an aging country. Whereas in case of Japan, which has moved further, which is also now they are calling their country as a super aging country rather than an aging country. Their population of aged person is growing very fast, and there is a whole lot of gray tsunami that is waiting to hit us, and ticking very fast. We need to understand the process, and we need to be prepared. We need to prepare our society, community, so that we are not able to we are able to mitigate the aftershocks of the gray tsunami. Now, this slide basically gives you the aging population globally. So this is as per the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. So you can see that it is gradually increasing, and by 21st century, you will see 3.1 billion elderly per person across the globe. One of the sustainable development goals amongst the United Nations is development and good development of good health and well-being among the older persons. So, keeping the pace of aging in mind, we also have to keep in mind that a good health and well-being is maintained by our elderly. So now moving on to the next slide, which tells you about that youngest India, also the one of the oldest. India has become one of the world's youngest country in 2020 with a median age of 29. But in our focus on leveraging this dividend, we are paying scant attention to another reality, India's rising elderly population. In absolute numbers, India's elderly ranks second in the world in the number of citizens in the 60 plus age category, next only to China. Research reveals that by 2050, India will have one out of every six of the world's elderly person. It will be the second largest home of the people in the 80 plus age group. Now, this slide basically gives you the old age dependency ratio in India. It is clearly seen that from 1961 to 2011, there has been an exponential growth in the number of older persons who has become dependent. From 10.9, we have raised to a significant number of 14.2%, and more elderly persons are becoming dependent, which is not an ideal case. There's a process of feminization of aging that has been happening. The current table shows that right from census in 1961, the number of females are outnumbering the number of males. So if you see the table wherein the details are provided in terms of population, male and female, it can be seen that the females are outnumbering the men, which is actually the call as the process of feminization of aging. We all know that there is changing socio-demographics that has been happening around us. We have an increased lifespan due to which we have more chronic conditions. Their lifestyles are changing, family system is changing. There is a disintegration of joint family system that is happening. Now we have more number of extended families, nuclear families. We also India also is expected to have 19% of the elderly population, which is 340 million by 2050. This is revealed by a joint study by United Nations and Funds and Helpage India. Now, moving on to the major problems that elderly face, these are the 10 problems that I have listed, which is common, very common among the older person in old age. Number one is the failing health. We all know the current pandemic has put in an unprecedented fear in the mind of elderly. They are the one who are most socially disconnected. They are the one who are staying more in their homes. They are the one who are not allowed to get out of their homes, even though the youth has come out. And we see a failing health among the older person, particularly when I say in the current pandemic, is due to the mental health, the other issues that are rising. There is also a sense of economic insecurity that comes in as one person ages. There is a problem of neglect and isolation that happens to in early old age. And uh, and Philip has also, during his presentation, given you more elaboration on the boredom and fear. So I'm not going into that into any details. But abuse is something which I would like to further elaborate on. And apart from that, loss of control, low self-esteem, lack of preparedness for old age home are other common problems. But as I say, abuse is something which I need to highlight in my presentation, because this is something which is not restricted to the developed world, but it has affected our developing nations, wherein traditionally we were living in a joint family system, and we were providing care to our elderlies. But now, with migration and disintegration of nuclear families, we see more elder abuse in our country as well. HelpAge India tries to celebrate and provide sensitization awareness among the general community and among the people on the World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. We called it as a WEAD. So, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day was launched by International Network for the Prevention of Elder Abuse and the World Health Organization at the United Nations. The purpose of WEED is to provide an opportunity for communities around the world to promote a better understanding of abuse and neglect of older persons by raising awareness of the cultural, social, economic, and demographic processes affecting elder abuse and neglect. What is elder abuse? An elder abuse is any action or inaction committed by a person in a position of trust which affects the health or well-being of an older person. These are some of the signs of elder abuse that have been listed, so which includes frequent arguments or tensions between the family members, isolation and neglect, unexplained signs of injuries such as bruises, welts, or scars, broken bones, pains, or dislocations, report of drug overdose or apparent failure to take medications regularly, broken eyeglasses or frames, threatening, belittling, or controlling caregiver behavior as among some of the signs of elder abuse. The other signs, of course, includes the unhygienic living conditions, being left dirty or unbathed, unsafe living conditions, significant withdrawals from elder bank accounts, and sudden changes in the elder's financial condition. These are the various types of elder abuse that the elderly face during the old age, which includes physical, sexual, psychological neglect, abandonment, financial or material exploitation, and self neglect. Self neglect is something which I want to lay more emphasis on, because it is the behavior of an older person who is mentally not competent to make decisions and therefore threatens his own health or safety. Even the elderly refuses to take care of self. So this is what self-neglect can actually do to an older person. Now, what increases the risk of elder abuse among the older person? It is basically the dependency of elderly versus that of the abuser. Along with that, these are the strained relationship that an elderly person can have within the family and outside the family. Also, the caregiver stress, the amount of stress that the caregiver is taken by extending the help to the older person also accumulates to increase risk of elder abuse among the older person. Mental illness is, of course, another point wherein which increases the risk of elder abuse. Health status of the elderly also increases the risk of elder abuse. Now, when, where, and what to report. So, volunteers, caregivers are generally known as the eyes and ears of an older person who can actually report any kind of abuse happening in anywhere in the society. Now, when and what to report? Any of the abuse indicators, example, injuries, dehydration, confusion, poor hygiene, can be reported. Where to report? Report, and this abuse can be reported under the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizen Act 2007, Elders Helpline, neighborhood panchayat bodies, and lastly to the police department. Helpage India is also running, as I have quoted it earlier, the Elder Helpline. So any abuse report can be directly reported over elder helplines that are run by Helpage itself. The number has been displayed in the slide. There is another helpline that is run by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, which has a toll-free number of 14567, which is dedicated helpline for senior citizens, which provides information, counseling, and field level intervention to the older persons. So these are the two helplines which can be approached in case of reporting an abuse among the older persons. Counseling, of course, can be used as a great tool to avoid any kind of abuse among the older persons. Counseling may facilitate adjustment, and it builds up the confidence among the older persons to improve the relationship within the family and outside the family. Now, moving on to the need of geriatric caregivers. What is geriatric caregivers? So, caregivers who provide care to an older persons are known as geriatric caregivers. The aged population in India has increased phenomenally with greater life expectancy. Understandably, this means there are more number of elders to look after at home, less or none at home to provide the requisite care and protection due to hectic work schedule and increased cost of living. Thus, there is a huge unaddressed need for professionally trained geriatric counselors and caregivers who can provide support to the elderly for activities of daily living, assistance in medical and psychological care, help in improving the quality of daily life. India does not have policy to support personal care at the community level for frail and vulnerable older people. India is currently implementing an approach in the national program to address the needs of frail and vulnerable older people that require personal care. Personal care for older people is being offered through non-government organizations, but the services do not offer a sustainable community-based approach that can be replicated in other communities. Now, how the geriatric caregiver can help? The geriatric caregiver can help stop elder abuse. They can help in keeping the mental and physical well-being of the elderly. They can provide the signs of early detection. They can also provide palliative care to the older persons, particularly those who are bedridden. Geriatric caregivers can also enhance friendly visits. They can also help in developing age-friendly and communities in cities. They can also provide the elderly the healthcare education they require in their twilight years of life.
Dr. Rohit, already you have taken 20 minutes. Will you finish within
Yeah,
5 minutes?
I'll just quickly finish my
Okay,
presentation.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. This is the largely the most interesting part of my presentation because I have been handling an international project on home care, wherein we are providing home care services to the older persons by creating a cadre of geriatric caregivers and extending these services at the elderly doorstep. So we have been implementing this program in Leh Ladakh, Shimla, and Kadalur region, and we have been providing our services to the elderly at their doorstep. These are some of the pictures from the program wherein we require actually recruit the volunteers. We also do a training of trainers, and then these volunteers are actually providing care and support to the older persons. You can see in the this picture that the community volunteer that is trained by HelpAge India under the Home Care pilot project is providing care, first aid care. Basically, they are treating the wounds of the older person. These caregivers are trained by HelpAge India, and they are extending the services to the older person. Similarly, we've been able to reach out to various senior citizen associations, RWAs, so for the project, and we have been able to link this project with various linkages and other areas of concern. We have been able to also given the community level training to the older persons. Here are some of the pictures wherein the community level training has been given to the older persons and their family members. We have been also advocating closely with the government on the home care pilot project and the long-term care project for the older persons. So we have been able to develop the referral services and home care services. Just moving on to the conclusion slides. So therefore, there is a growing caregiver crisis in India. The demand of caregivers far outstrips the current supply due to crumbling traditional joint family system, formation of nuclear families, and mass migration of the younger generation. The caregiving support for the elderly has become sparse and non-existent. There is a lack of trained and qualified caregivers who have undergone a standardized caregiving curriculum. Therefore, correct measures are needed to be taken in order to address this huge, often unaddressed demand of caregivers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rohit Kumar, for your enlightening presentation. It was really beautiful, addressing or analyzing the situation of the elderly and responding concretely to their needs. That was amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr.
And
Steven, I would request if I would be given another 2 minutes. I have a beautiful picture to show, which is
please,
basically an audio visual.
I think that's fine. 2 minutes, yes, you can take it, sir.
Sure. I'm just sharing my screen. I hope this is visible.
In India, the tradition of joint families, where the old and young lived together, looking after each other, sharing their joys and sorrows, is fast disintegrating. The country cradles a wide gap between the need of care for the elderly and customized care that is available to them. The financial and emotional interdependence of a joint family system is on a downward swing, with youngsters migrating from smaller cities for better avenues. Their parents, mostly elderly, have to work to sustain themselves.
मेरा नाम पद्मा है, मेरी उम्र 86 है, 86 है।
इनके साथ है एक बेटा और ये रह रहे हैं जो इनको लुक आफ्टर कर रहे हैं। अब उसकी अपनी भी डे टू डे की प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, बाहर भी जाना होता है, इतना टाइम शायद वो ना दे पाएं।
According to United Nations, a country is defined as aging when 7% of its total population exceeds the age of 60. In 2001, India has already exceeded the proportion by 7.7%, and which is further expected to reach 12.6% by 2025. Going by the increase in life expectancy, India is set to face the grey tsunami. It is projected that between 2000 to 2050, there will be a 700% increase in the population of those above 80 plus years, predominated by widowed and highly dependent old women, a phenomena of feminization of aging. With 40 years of vast experience of working for the disadvantaged elderly, HelpAge India, an NGO, has made home care for senior citizens its agenda. HelpAge International is supporting HelpAge India in taking this initiative to locations such as Shimla district of Himachal Pradesh, Leh and Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, Kudalur district in Tamil Nadu.
We are running this project in urban Shimla and rural Shimla. We have selected 1000 beneficiaries and we have trained 300 caregivers.
मैं हेल्पेज इंडिया के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ ले के लिए पिछले 1 साल से। तो इस होम केयर में हमने 500 बेनिफिशियरी आइडेंटिफाई कर रखे। उस 500 बेनिफिशियरी में साथ में हमने केयर गिवर्स उनके लिए और वॉलंटियर्स, कम्युनिटी वॉलंटियर्स हमने आइडेंटिफाई कर रखे।
In the Kadalur model of home care program, which comes very successfully, the 20 villages have been covered. In the 20 villages, 1000 people will be have identified.
Helpage India has initiated this project, which would help the people who stay back in home, which would help by empowering the communities to take care of their elderly people.
Helpage India has been conducting training programs in various locations across the country to train youth as home caregivers.
In this home care pilot project, we are trying to create a cadre of geriatric home caregivers who will provide their support and services to the elderly at their doorstep.
Helpage India has been very supportive in training these people, and I'm sure this endeavor will help in changing the way the elderly are cared for at their homes.
Special attention is paid on developing soft skills required for engaging with the elderly.
ये मेरी दादी जी है, ये काफ़ी बुजुर्ग हैं और ये पहले से बेड रिडन थे। तो मैं हेल्पेज इंडिया से जुड़ी हूँ। हमें बुजुर्गों के बारे में सब कुछ बताया गया प्रैक्टिकली कि कैसे उनकी सेवा करनी है, किस तरीके से उनको एक्सरसाइज करानी है।
Interactive sessions on age-related conditions, service attitude, communication with senior citizens, infection control, activities of daily living, moving or transferring a dependent person, prevention of falls, and responding to an emergency situation, etc. are organized. They are also sensitized on the increasing need to look after the elderly.
जो बुजुर्ग होते हैं उनकी हड्डियां काफ़ी वीक होती है और हमें नॉलेज नहीं होती कि उनको किस तरीके से उठाना है, किस तरीके से ध्यान रखना है। अब कई बुजुर्ग ऐसे भी होते हैं जिन्हें सुनाई नहीं देता, वो हमारी बात को समझ नहीं पाते। तो हमें वहाँ भी बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला कि हमें बुजुर्ग से किस तरीके से प्यार से बात करनी है।
Youngsters become aware of challenges faced by the elderly. This is also a learning for them. They learn how to look after the elderly in not only their family but also neighborhood.
I'm very happy to see here many young volunteers and caregivers of the elderly. I think they are the future generation who will be carrying the society, and if they are really motivated from now and they are really enthusiastic, and our job as a trainer is to motivate them more, boost their morale, boost their confidence.
बहुत ही अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है किसी की सोशल सर्विस करने का, या आपको एक मौका मिलता है कि आप लोगों की सेवा करें.
They feel that it is not a job but a service of contentment to look after the elders, just as they were looked after in their childhood days. After becoming a qualified home caregiver, the volunteers are linked with senior citizens in their community in need of continued care.
मैं यहाँ पर होम विजिट करने रहती हूँ। इनका नाम है सिरिंग छोटो। इनका 84
I'm sorry, we are running late, so we need more time for discussion. We would like to be enlightened by you further. So now the floor is open for discussion. Yes, yes, Anthony, Father, yes, Anthony.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rohit, for your wonderful presentation. After listening to both of you, I would like to just observe the problem of the old people is not an isolated problem. That's what I feel. Any human being, they are holistic. How I have been brought up in my family, my childhood, or in my family, or as a person who held responsibilities in various places in the society. So individual, family, and the society, they play a very, very important role in deciding on my socio-political, economical, psychological well-being of a person. So addressing the old age or taking care, doing some service to them, I think that is one important area that certainly we need to concentrate. But apart from that, I think if you look at holistically, then the entire human life has to be taken into consideration. And accordingly, we need to create some policy decisions or programs, or the society needs to be trained. And also youngsters individually, every individual have to be helped to grow gracefully, as Dr. Badrinath was saying. We need to grow gracefully. So individuals have to be prepared, and in the family, how they are treated, not elderly people, even ordinary children, ordinary women or women folk or men, how they are all treated in the family, or the economic problem, social problem, or various problems they face as they grow before 80 or 60. I think that has got a very, very deeper repercussions on their well-being as an age old people. So do we have, in our case, don't we think that we need to also concentrate on this? And do we have any policies, programs to educate the society at large?
Yes, I totally agree with the point that it starts at a very early age, and that is why we designed a program called SAVE, wherein we are inculcating the values to the school children, basically the school-going children, wherein we have been giving them the knowledge that how traditionally the elderly persons are taken care of in the society. So we have been sensitizing the school-going children on the aging conditions, on aging scenarios, on changing aging conditions, how old age is actually taken into account in the current world. And also we've been able to tell them about the various good practices that we have been following in the past. So we have framed a program that is dedicated to school children, inculcating the value education on being an actively aging society, and also help them understand what is the role that grandparents play in their lives. So we do have such good programs that are running. And in terms of policies, we have national policy on older persons, wherein we are continuously getting in touch with the government, wherein we want to revive certain points in the policy. So the policy was framed in the year 1999, and it has not been revised till date. We have sent our recommendations in the policy, wherein we wanted to put gerontology and the studies, research on gerontology as one of the major agenda in the policy, so that the research, if the research comes out to the larger community, then the community becomes more sensitized and gets the awareness they want to have on the elderly issues. So we are trying to inculcate also certain changes in the national policy for the older persons while working with the government.
Stalin.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Rohit, appreciations to you for, first of all, for the work that you're doing at HelpAge India. It's an amazing work, and definitely you're reaching to one of the most important groups that we need to have. Just following up on what you just now said and what Jesus said, I have two comments to make, and maybe you could respond to those. Number one, you talked about caregiver crisis, which is something very, very essential to be noted. But behind this caregiver crisis, I find two issues, and that is what I want to address. The first one is the growing insensitivity. Now, why are we becoming more insensitive is the question that we need to ask, and maybe probably you could ask, why is this growing insensitivity to the elderly, to the sick? Number two is the fading idea of a community. While on the other hand, we are creating artificial old age homes, why is it that we are having and not having, especially in India, why are we not having a strong sense of a community where the community By community, what I mean is, the group of relatives coming together to take care of each other, the entire community social networking, where one does not feel bored, one does not feel, why is it that idea of a community fading? So these are the two issues which probably I would be happy to listen from you. You also talked about the elder abuse. The elder abuse also comes because of this growing insensitivity and the fading idea of a community. Thank you.
Yes, I do agree, Dr. Robin, on your 2 points that there is a greater insensitivity that has come in minds of younger generations. And there are studies that supports that there has been an incidence of rise of abuse among the older persons, particularly when we are moving from the era of 20th century to 21st century. There has been a greater insensitivity amongst the younger generations, and this probably may be due to the mass migration that is happening across various tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 cities, and wherein the younger generation is moving out of and they do not bother taking care of the elderly persons. And fading of community is coming on to the second point which you have raised. The fading values within the community is something which we have been trying to encourage the community by giving them the necessary skills that are required to take care for an older persons. For example, when we were implementing this program within the community, so most of the community members were not sensitized, and they do not have any idea that how a bedridden elderly could be given care of. So we provided the necessary skills. I think that empowerment of community is something which is required, which the Helpages India is doing, which also the National Health Mission under the government. They are providing the necessary skills, and they are empowering the community, whether it is the senior citizen associations, whether it is the younger associations. So they are actually empowering the communities to understand the whole process and the whole dynamics of aging process. And also coming to the point that geriatric caregiver crisis has happened in India, that also relates to the fact that the younger population is really emerging, and they are moving out of their hometowns, and in terms of and also there is an impact of urbanization that has possibly lead us to this position.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit.
Yes, Dr. Badrinath.
Doctor, just a small query. I mean, you made a statistics telling that females outnumber the males in aging. Any particular reasons?
Yes. So there is a lot of research that has happened in past few decades. Why this number of elderly women is rising. So one factor which we have been able to find out and connect it biologically is the women are the one who have been marrying early, and marrying early actually adds into their number of years, or what do we say, the total number of years to the elderly woman. So also the fact that the age the median age for elderly men is 66, as compared to women whose median age is 69 years. So there is a 4-year difference already that we see in terms of the research that has happened. Probably these are the few reasons. That is why the females are outnumbering the number of men.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I, Dr. Rohit, can I also ask a question?
Sure,
or rather add something to the discussion? The point raised by Father S. Anthony was this growing insensitivity has got something to do with the whole process of human being from the childhood onwards, how they are socialized, how they observe things, and how they are educated. All these matters. And this is mainly because how we define human being in this capitalistic world today. Everything is calculated with material worth. A human person is defined according to the capacity for his contribution, material contribution towards the family and the society. In that way, all these elders are considered useless in this capitalistic world. So where their worth is not recognized, they are ignored. And probably this could be repaired, this could be set right only through conscientization, through education. And even as you are working with the government in many ways, reaching out to the people, bringing out awareness, probably you may have to touch upon the Department of Education, that from the start itself, education must have integrated these kind of values, revering the worth of human being, revering the elders. That might help and change the ideology. That would bring a change in the society, I believe.
Sorry to add, along with what Stalin said, I think the poverty, that plays a very, very important role in becoming a person of a kind of matured person to handle their old age or problems. So the poverty starting from the childhood and up to their retirement or even after that, and how many people are retired from their job officially from government jobs or acquiring many good positions, and most of the people are in India, they are poor, poverty line. So in that the case, does it not the poverty, the economical side of a human being, has it not important element in deciding their well-being at the old age? I think it does. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Father Arun.
Yeah, this is an appreciation for Dr. Rohit Kumar. So you are doing wonderful work. Wonderful work, that is caretakers of aged one at present needed mission at India. So now I like clarification for the Dr. Robin. Young generation feeling insensitivity towards the society, and in the society, especially in the family, their families too. At present, a lot of elderly persons, most of the families, elderly members are admitted at the home for aged. So even though they are economically rich, and when they are admitted, then at the age of 80, 90, like that. So my question is, as a religious priest, now there are a lot of sisters congregations running the home for aged. Whether you have any connection with them, since your mission is taking care of the aged. So any connection, Rohit Kumar?
Yeah. So I actually had a bad connection. If you can repeat your question.
Yeah. No, since the sisters congregation in India, religious congregation, they are running also the home for aged at present. Lot of home for aged. No. But now as a project, your project is a kind of, it's a personal, maybe the question is, so that they're taking care of the aged. So whether you are interconnected towards their mission too.
Yeah. So basically, the old age homes has been becoming the necessary evil in the current contemporary times, and we have been advocating to increase the number of old age homes in each district. So the Maintenance of Senior Citizens and Parents Act clearly says that every district needs to construct their own old age home with a facility of 30 to 50 residents. So this has been passed as orders to state governments by center government, and but this has not been followed. It has been there in the paper, but the implementation has been very poor. So the advocating we are continuously and gradually advocating for more number of senior citizens homes, so that those elderly who do not have a roof over their head actually finds out shelter and peace during their twilight years of life.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Yes, Dr. Badrinath. Your mic is not on.
Maybe
yes, go ahead.
A question to add to what Father Robin had earlier said, that regarding the gender insensitization, I mean the insensitivity of the people to accept old age. In the concluding slide, Father, I mean Doctor, you showed it was only the young volunteers who were finally helping the old persons. Why does this mind does not come to the people who are living within the family as young person, part of the family? Why don't they get this attitude? It is finally the young volunteers from outside, someone outside the family, who are helping the elders. Why don't the persons within the family who are young do the same? What causes them, prevents them from accepting them, or the reasons maybe?
Basically, we have, out of our experience, we have seen that majorly these are the elderly persons who are living alone. So their children has moved out in to find out good education, occupation, and so on. They have built their own lives, and mostly these people, elderly people, are living alone. They are staying alone. So to find out persons for their care and affections, we wanted to community to sensitize the community, and the best way is to focus on the youth that is present near the older persons. So we tried to focus our training and our awareness amongst the younger generation, so that one younger generation who has moved out, as we have another younger generation who is there, who is keeping the elders safe. So that the elderly also are not feeling suppressed, or also are not feeling depressed because of the fact that their real children are staying away from them. And the intergenerational bonding is the bridge between the generation gap that has developed, can be narrowed down.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rohit, and thank you, everybody, for all your active participation in this discussion and sharing your valuable thoughts with everyone. Indeed, it is adding something worth to our understanding of elderly people, and answering the question why this problem is on the increase, and what thinking makes it really continue. That kind of thought was there, and the discussion helped us to grow in that. Thank you very much, everyone.